season. So there's this coach called Coach JB. He's a coach. He was a coach for the U, I believe, and it was a series that they had on Netflix and all of that. And there's this other lady named Sabrina Parr who is also a trainer. She's trained different athletes, not necessarily a football trainer, but she's just a trainer. She helped them out with different mechanics and certain things to help them improve and become better athletes. And so there was a post that was put out, and apparently she's saying that I guess another guy said something in regards to women deserve, instead of being talking about football, women deserve to be in sports. Oh wait, they deserve to be in the kitchen, not talking about sports. And so Sabrina felt some type of way about it, and she said, "Well, tell me you don't like Shedeur without telling me you don't like Shedeur." So we're gonna get into this video, and those two, JB and Sabrina, are gonna go back and forth about the situation. Then we'll give our thoughts. All right. Hopefully I kind of explained that pretty good. But
she's back
I don't know
here.
what happened. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
But one of the first things that came out of his mouth was nothing but accountability. So me just having my opinion as an athlete, as a coach, as a mother who has a son that plays football, my opinion was I just think he doesn't like Shedeur. Because if you're watching what he's doing, how can you be upset with what he's doing as a fifth rounder?
You talking about me or Sean, the guy that was talking?
I'm talking about Sean because my comment was to Sean, right? Like I wasn't saying in a whole everyone on like Shedeur, because I hadn't heard what you had to say about Shedeur. I didn't know how Darnell felt about Shedeur. I did hear Darnell defending him, saying that, we were overanalyzing him, right? And I agree with that, over-evaluating him, excuse me. So my comment was to Smitty. So for you to gather that I don't belong in the conversation based on my opinion on what Smitty said, let me know, you just really don't like women in sports, period. Which was ironic because I took a look at your page and you're promoting to save women's sports. Well, what sports? What sports do you want to save for us? What sports are okay?
All sports. All sports. So
that would include football. Yeah. Football is a sport. And actually, they have created a lane for young ladies to play the sport. Not on the same level, but it's still a lane because the fact that they created it, JB, lets me know that somebody wants it. Somebody is going to watch. It may not be you. It may not ever be you.
Let's keep it real. The feminists want it. Let's keep it real. There's no man that wants to watch women beat each other up on a football field. I do not want you to come home to me with your feet and fucked up and your eyeballs all fucked up and you bruised and battered and get into the bed. Let's keep it real. We got to stop this narrative, girl, because I respect you. I do. Here's the number one thing.
I played football, and guess who bought our tickets? Men.
I know. You know why? Because you're women. Because pussy's undefeated, girl.
Okay,
what do you mean?
First of all, football is a business. It's not a business.
Not for you.
To sell tickets.
It ain't a business for y'all though.
For the NFL, are they trying to sell tickets? Yes or no?
Hey. I drive. You
we were doing good for a minute.
Liberty Mutual.
DSG presents your favorite classic.
We were doing good for a minute.
The All-Star.
Who was on the road?
What'd you say? Sorry.
Even in the NFL, is the objective to sell tickets? Yes or no?
Yes. You know who buys those tickets?
You're getting ahead of your
conglomerates, corporations. Corporations and conglomerates.
It doesn't matter who buys the tickets. They're buying it. So for you to say that we don't belong, and I'm not disagreeing that football isn't, especially contact with helmets, with full pads. I don't believe that women should be out there with men. But if women are playing other women, why does that bother you so much?
Well, that doesn't bother me. I never said women playing each other.
No, you didn't make your statement was clear that we don't belong in football. You didn't say we don't belong to talk in the conversation about men playing football, or we don't belong playing football with other men. Right. So this is why you have to be careful what you say and who you're saying it to, because you just never know how it's going to land.
I don't have to be careful at all.
You should. I want to be clear. And I'm surprised that you're not being more careful.
Yeah. Let me break it down. Go ahead.
You can only speak once, so go ahead. You seem to want to be in full control, and it's very shocking that you haven't learned from your past to be a little less aggressive and be a little less in control here, because it doesn't work out well. But go ahead. I'm going to let you have the floor.
No. I thought I was letting you talk. I don't have to cut you off at all. I'm in no rush.
You haven't let me talk for more than 10 seconds yet. And when you go back and review this video, because you're going to review
Go ahead then.
He keeps them off though. Let's be real.
When you go back and review this video, you're going to see that you haven't been letting me talk. I
thought conversations were a debate back and forth. I didn't know you had it all, and then I can't talk. So, but go ahead.
It's not about you can't talk, JB. There's just an order. There's an order of operations and everything. So if I hear your voice
coming from a woman, that sounds ironic. See, you said I want to control it, but I think the women want to control it. I'm just keeping it real. So it goes both ways, right? It goes both ways. You were talking about Shedeur Sanders, Sabrina, were you not?
I was talking about Smitty. Is that his name?
No. Or Sean.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was talking about Sean. I was talking about Sean not liking Shedeur. I didn't even elaborate on why I felt that way. I only was talking about Sean. Tells us you don't like Shedeur. That's the person who was speaking in the video was Sean.
Right. So that's my point. Yeah, that's my point though. Shedeur plays football, right?
Correct.
Okay, so my point again was, tell me you belong in the kitchen without telling me you on the football field. That was like what I said, right? Shedeur is the topic. He's a football player. Football's the space. You told a guy that won a fucking Super Bowl that he don't know what he's talking about.
No, that's not what I said. I didn't say you don't know what you're talking about. I said you don't like Shedeur.
Right.
Let's read verbatim what I said. I never said he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Right. In the football space.
Exactly what he's talking about and still not like the person he's talking about.
Right.
There are people I don't like and I talk about them in that tone, in that connotation. That doesn't mean that I don't know what I'm talking about. He may have known what he was talking about and still I believe he doesn't like.
Right. So here's the thing. Assumptions make asses of us all. So why would you say that? That's the whole thing about it. You don't know Sean and don't know the context on a clip. You know we do make clips, how we make clips in social media. So unless you saw the whole video, that was my whole point about this is a football space. Again, so like you're proving my whole point here. Like I don't understand why that's so hard to grasp. If you would have came out, respectfully, Sabrina, if you would have came out and been like, you know, how to get into a track stance and all that shit, I'm bound down because I know you're a well-respected, legitimate ass track coach. I get it. Like there's no disrespect. I don't understand. If you would have told me the same thing, stay the fuck out of track and field, JB, you don't know shit, I would have said you're fucking right. And I don't understand why we don't agree to that. I don't get that part.
Because number one, I'm not a track coach. I coach athletes. Some of the top players that you're watching now have came through my system. Okay, some of the top college guys are going to went through my system. Okay, you got to do a little bit more research. And when I was working on ESPN for 8 years as one of the only Black contributors and only female contributor, I had to cover way more than just track. We didn't even talk about track and field, to be quite honest. So the reason why I was in that position is because I am respected in every area of sports. Okay, with the exception of baseball, I don't know much about baseball. So when we talked about the Indians, which are now the Guardians, I didn't have a lot to.
She there?
It's because of my experience working in these spaces, being the athlete that I have been, an all-around athlete, I am respected. You didn't do enough research to understand that. I have trained with some of the top NFL guys, Hall of Famers, retired, the guys that are currently playing. I have trained alongside them. This is what you don't understand. So just how you speak about basketball and you're not a basketball guy, you have some experience either studying them, watching film, or looking at research. Because you haven't typically, because you didn't play the sport does not say, oh, turn JB's mic off when we start talking about LeBron because we can't get his take on that. That's bullshit and you know it. The only reason why you feel like I can't give my take is because I am a woman. That is it. And that is where it lost me. And God forbid I only stayed in the kitchen most of my life. I wouldn't even be respected at all because they don't see women in the kitchen and women in the kitchen are not valued. So once I'm done playing basketball, playing football, running track, coaching, raising my kids, then I go to the kitchen and make sure everybody is fed. But during the day, I feed myself by being out in the field, having these conversations, being a part of the conversation, because I have worked damn hard to qualify myself to be able to do so. Now go ahead. You can respond to what I said now.
Yeah. You don't train football players.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Don't.
Yes, I do. Yes,
See, that's
I do.
the problem. That's the problem. You think you do.
No, I'm not an idiot. If
I'm being real. I'm not saying you're an idiot. I'm not saying you're an idiot.
And they're going through agility training, strength training, speed training, mental training. I do train them. Literally. No, let me read
All right, so I'm gonna stop it right there for a second. So, who wanted to take the lead on this one?
Bruh, I get both of their perspective, but I think with Coach JB, what I'm getting from it, he's not saying like he don't care about women in these spaces and all this stuff. I think he's just saying in this particular situation with NFL players, she don't know what she's talking about because she doing strength training and all that type of stuff. But as far as like teaching them like the fundamentals at a elite level, like NFL and all that stuff, she doesn't do that. She does like the strength training and all that type of stuff. So when he's talking about like the Shedeur situation, he's more like, how can you speak on that when you don't really know the game like that for real? Like you told a dude that played in the Super Bowl, that won a Super Bowl, he don't know what he's talking about. But you never played the game. I think that's where he coming from.
I think where she was coming from is she said it, that she didn't say that he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Right. She said
what she said was, say that you don't like him. Just say that you don't like him. And then because she said just say you don't like it, then he says you should be in the kitchen as like the basic generic, that we all get for women. I see her side. I don't see his side when it comes to her exact response and what she's responding to. The whole, you don't really train them, blah, 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 and yada, yada, whatever. Her exact reason of why she's upset is because that man told her to get in the kitchen and stop doing what the fuck she's doing. And she's saying, bitch, I've been doing this and I have something to say about it. And she didn't say anything wrong. The clip that they cut, I'm pretty sure he was talking something about it. And so she said, just say you don't like that man and move along. But instead, his response was, you should just be in the kitchen.
I think where it comes from is the fact that so that whole back and forth. So there's a lot of times where a lot of commentators or a lot of analysts they say certain things about players, right? They give their critiques, they give their professional critiques about a certain player. What they do. Kind of like what I did the other day. You know what I'm saying? Said the things about Shedeur Sanders and things where he did good, things where he did bad. And so with that, that's where the part comes in. He's like, well, just say what her saying, well, say you don't like Shedeur without saying it, but it has nothing to do with them liking him or not. It's just the fact that they're critiquing him. And so because everybody has a hard critique because of who he is, he's Deion Sanders, he's primetime son. And they got these, everybody's talking about him. Nobody's ever talked about a fifth rounder before. So therefore, everybody's talking about him. So any critique about him, a lot of, especially people who are rooting for Shedeur, they're gonna feel some type of way about it. It's like, hey, well, say you don't like the man. Why you critiquing him like that? He's a fifth rounder. Same thing that they were doing with Bronny James. They were critiquing him heavily just because of the basis that he's LeBron James' son. And so that's where that aspect is coming from. So there's a line, there's a thin line where a lot of people are saying, look, are you critiquing him or are you just hating on him? Which one is it? So I think that's where it's coming from.
And then
JB though, he went low, like good and well what she does. He knew that was going to be disrespectful. He went and jabbed her on purpose. So he deserves all this mouth that he's getting back because that was uncalled for. You don't have to tell her that she don't know football just because she's trying to make a point. That's just disrespectful.
On top of how many men every day critique different athletes and have never played that sport or have only played it on the level of high school and their team sucks, but they feel like they know everything about what should and shouldn't happen based off of the stats that they looked up or just their knowledge of the sport itself. If a woman has the same passion for sports, why can't she add to the conversation? I don't understand that. Now, me, I could care less about sports. I ain't gonna lie to you. But she seems to have a passion for it. She seems to have some type of footing or understanding or knowledge of it. You know what I mean? So just like you stated, Courtney, there are different people critiquing this young man, and she's on the side that it just seems like you don't like him. Like you're not even critiquing him for his skill, understanding that he's a 5th round pick. So he's probably not as good as some of the other people, but you just don't like him. And instead of him responding to that, he responded by saying, say you need to be in the kitchen without saying you need to be in the kitchen for somebody who actually deals with athletes. It just doesn't make sense. If she was a man, he would not have responded to her like that.
Exactly.
But here's the thing though, Ty. That does happen when you got guys like Skip Bayless, you got guys like Stephen A. Smith who haven't played the sport on a professional level, and many other analysts who critique the game. Everybody goes at them too. Everybody tells them, listen, bro, you've never played this game before. You've never played on my level before. How you gonna tell me that I'm trash and you never played the game before? So it's not just the fact that she's a woman, they go at her. They go at everybody. Men who never played the game before and try to tell somebody how to play the game or what the person that's critiquing the game. So it's not just her in that aspect that he's going at. Yeah, in this instance it is, but they go at everybody. Any analyst that hasn't played the game on that level. Now, of course, everybody has a mic to speak on it, whatever the case. Just like myself, I played basketball in college. But if I were to go and critique somebody in the NBA, I'm pretty sure NBA players like, nigga, you never played in the NBA, so how the fuck you gonna critique it? But I know the game well enough all the way up through college that I have some good insight on how to play the game. But again, that's not to say that she can't say what she has to say. You know, that doesn't say that she doesn't study the game, just like the other guys like Skip Bayless or, you know, Stephen A. Smith. They study the game, you know, they embody the game, they understand, but they still don't understand from a certain level. But they go at the men too, just as they go at her. But the thing about JB though, JB's just reckless like that. He's just a reckless talker. He does that with men and women. And he does it on the U as well with all his players that he coaches. So that's just who he is as a person. So,
and I just wanted to point out point of the conversation he brought up where he said that nobody would want to see women playing football, which for one is a lie, because they got a whole flag football thing with women in bikinis, and that's like what they're selling. But his reasoning was because, you know, who wants to deal with women all beat and battered? But if you watch boxing, because that's one sport I actually do watch, I prefer to watch the women. It's more entertaining, and they beat the living crap out of each other. And people are still there to watch it. So I just felt like his reasoning too behind it really didn't make a lot of sense. But, you know.
But I mean, if you look at it that way, you look at women's boxing, you look at, you know, women playing football and flag football. I mean, is it really driving the revenue as other sports are? When you got to look at it from that aspect.
Women sports don't drive the same revenue as men's sports, period, right? The man build athleticism, everything is on a different level than women. That'll never be the same.
Right.
But I'm just saying people still pay to watch. People still show up, right? People are still interested. So to say like that's just not a lane women can be in, it's just not true because they're already in it. That's all I'm saying.
I felt like he was digging himself a hole. And I think too, I don't know if men know the equivalent of what being in the kitchen feels like to us as like a trigger to say. I feel like, and we might feel a little stronger on the kitchen comment, but like how y'all might get triggered about like, if he was like, well, then just say that you're gay if you're gay, if it was a man, right? How immediately your ears perk up and you're like, why would you say I was fucking gay when I just made a comment, right? That, and I don't even think it's as big as how we feel about the kitchen, but that's how I'm trying to explain of like why she immediately was like, you could have said anything fucking else, but the comment that y'all like go the lane that y'all always go to, not y'all, but is women need to be in the kitchen. That's what I think of why it triggered her as to be like, and you could have said anything else, like how you mentioned, Courtney, about being critiqued and things like that. It was just the fact that he went for the lowest blow, saying that she needed to go in the kitchen. We'll try to equate it to he called another man gay. And that is why the conversation started. And then he just dug himself into a deeper hole going down the lane.
Or called another man a female dog. That's a better one.
That's a better one. Thank you, girl. Yes.
It's instant disrespect.
It's like you're attacking her womanhood or somebody's attacking your manhood. That's disrespectful.
It's just shit talking though. Men don't
go ahead, Marcus. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not.
Men don't get mad about that shit. You just shit talk.
I know so many men that get mad about
talking shit about gays.
If someone called me a bitch, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm not gonna lose my shit. Someone call me a bitch. I'm like, all right, well, hey, stepping up, let's go.
There's others that have a fit.
I don't think it's the same, like on that disrespect level, because I think you was just talking shit.
That was an example. So whatever attacks your manhood, whatever that card is the one that's pulled for you. That's what she's talking about.
I think this is
that doesn't make any sense because men value women being in the kitchen, and that's a natural thing that women are supposed to do. You calling a man something unnatural is wild. Like you calling somebody out their name and saying they're gay isn't equivalent to somebody saying go to the kitchen.
It's an example.
Then use whatever triggers for you. It was an example. Find the equivalent that pisses you off, and then click that in.
No, say something like go build a house, go build a house, or go work on a car or something like that.
I get what you're saying.
I just want to point out that being gay can be natural for some people.
No,
it's not natural because it's not a natural thing.
It's not natural.
Don't get me started.
All I'm
You don't have to go there.
Some people feel like it's naturally what they are. So
that's where you can use that in the sense of if women feel as if it's not natural to be in the kitchen, then if you use it that way, then yeah, it would make sense.
Some women don't feel like it's natural. Some women hate being in the kitchen.
Well, which is unnatural, right? Because which is unnatural.
I feel like it goes against. I feel like it goes against societal standards of what women should be able to do. But it's the same thing of saying that it's unnatural for a man not to know how to fix things.
That's a fact.
The tire. But there are men that don't know how to do that, though.
Which is unnatural.
Which is unnatural. But at the same time,
which is unnatural, right?
I don't think it's unnatural because these are all learned behaviors.
But look, check it. Hold on.
You don't come out the womb knowing this just because you're a man or just because you're a female. You have to learn those things, and if you're not taught them, then you have to either teach yourself. So natural isn't just it's just not the right word. I'm sorry, I'm stuck on semantics here, but I'm just saying.
But at the same time, when it comes to the kitchen situation, you got to look at it from a point. As soon as the baby is born, you are feeding that baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a woman. So as they get older, they get, they don't do the milk no more. And it's like, okay, the next level, I'm in charge of feeding my kids. So that involves the cooking. That's where it stems from. That's the reason why we say it might be more natural that a woman would be in the kitchen. It's not trying to be disrespectful. It's more like, hey, y'all been doing it because that's what's the natural order of like feeding your kids and feeding the family and all that type of stuff. That's the reason why I said natural. But I think within this situation, within this whole conversation, I think this is the reason why a lot of people say they don't want women in men like sports or rooms and everything, because the way me, Raw and Courtney, how we'll go back and forth about sports, we'll talk shit to each other and all that stuff. We ain't the name calling. It ain't shit to us. We just shit talking the whole time. But a lot of times when a women in that, you can't talk like that because they take a lot of stuff personally. Like, why would you say that? That's being disrespectful to us. With us men, man, bitch ass, bro, you don't know shit about football. When the last time you played football? All right, shut the fuck up and go get on the goddamn computer, bitch. Right? And then it'll just keep going back and forth. But it won't get to a point where it's like, oh my God, I'm so offended. Why we have to say that and this, that, and third. And that's just like how men are when it comes to sports or competitive like sports and everything in that nature. We ain't tripping about what was actually said. Like the crazy thing about men, we can call each other some bitches and hoes and all that stuff when we talk about football and all that, and nothing will happen. No fights, no nothing. But in that arena, outside of sports though, if you call me a bitch in the streets and everything, of course then I get pissed off, right? Because now you coming at me like for real. But if we just talking about sports, we talk shit to each other all the time. Like it ain't. I mean, did that go back in the kitchen statement? That's like low. That ain't nothing compared to what men be saying to each other when it comes to like sports and shit. Like you be damn near like, dog, are y'all even cool? Do y'all even like each other? Oh, that's my dude, bro. We just talking shit, man. Go grab me a beer, bro. It be just like that. But you bring women into it. When you bring women into it, you gotta walk on eggshells because they'll take it like literally, and then it'll be like, oh my god, he hate women, he hate this, that, and the third. He's it's just different.
Hey, wouldn't it be the equal like the Minnesota the dude cheerleaders and some girls like, man, go pump some weights or something? Is it almost like the same shit?
No, I don't think men care about that stuff like that though.
A woman's space and she's like, man, go do some man shit. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't think men will have a problem with it. We're like, man, maybe you need to go do some damn push-ups, bro. You do look kind of weak.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just dudes, we don't care about it like that. Like the words and stuff. We don't care about it, especially when it comes to sports. We'll talk like all day. But when you bring women into it, it's like because with the history of women not being in these spaces, they feel as though that you're belittling them because they're in the space now, and now you just being real disrespectful. So that little small nuance of how we go back and forth and how women in there, it's like you attacking women, all women, you just hate women. They don't see it like how we see it.
True.
That would make more sense then.
Yeah, I just think it's too many wars going on. Fucking gender war, race war, all that. We just need to stick to black and white, the sport. But he got out there, he had a bad game. It is what it is. I mean, I don't know. He said that she trains track. She said she trained more than that. So we gonna just say maybe she trains fucking muscle and coordination. That's cool and all, but that ain't training the playbook. So when they start getting deeper into the game about running routes and shit, special teams, blitz, all this extra stuff, then yeah, I ain't gonna say be Bobby Boucher and be the water boy, but if you ain't never ran them routes before, kind of sit that out. If we
never lined up, not even lined up to a lineman, haven't got hit, you know what I'm saying, haven't threw the ball, you just been doing the strip. It's like it's
but here's the thing though. That's why I gotta disagree with y'all on.
Right, because it's
she's open to critique the game as much as she wants to. You know what I'm saying? She can the game, but she just has to understand if you're gonna critique the game, she gotta understand there's gonna be shit that's gonna come behind that. You're gonna have other people that's gonna say, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Shut your ass up. That's what comes with it. So yeah, she as long as she got a mic, she can talk about the game as much as she wants to, especially if she watches the game, she knows the game. Cool, watch it, talk about it. But just know that there are gonna be guys like JB and other guys who may be a little bit disrespectful when they talk to you. You just gotta understand it, and that's what comes with it in the sports world. It just
I wasn't saying she shouldn't critique. I'm just saying, like, just like what you said, you gotta be able to substantiate what you're saying when it comes to it, because that's what he said. He said if she came in there and was talking about track and all that stuff, he'll shut his ass up. He ain't even gonna say nothing because he don't know shit about it, right? Mm-hmm. That's what he said, and that's what he was trying to tell her. But like I said, when you have a conversation with women in like a male-dominated like environment, it's like you're attacking them, their femininity, and you're attacking their mindset and their capability to even be able to do it at the level. You know what I'm saying? That's what they feel. It ain't like banter and barter and just cut some motherfuckers out and just move on. They don't. It don't look like that to them.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like, on a surface level, she speaks about it, cool. But once it starts going down in depth, if you ain't got in deep, so that's like me trying to talk about war combat. But all I know is, a Glock with a switch in the hood.
Call of Duty.
I can't tell Courtney how I can't tell Courtney how a 50 cal shoots if he really held one and shot it. And the closest I ever got to it was a PlayStation controller. At some point, you just gotta be like, all right, you know what, big dog, you actually know more. You could teach me on that or something, but I'm gonna just shut up now. Like, I already gave you what I know about it or what was portrayed to me, but you've actually done it, so I'm gonna sit this one out. And that's how I kind of see it. But I think there's some other underlying issues that she probably wanted to get off too. And the discourse just got out of control. And personally, I don't understand why women be so offended with the whole kitchen statement, because that's just wild to me too. But I'll leave that alone. I ain't trying to derail it too much.
You know, it just goes back to the example that you just gave, right? Like, you couldn't tell him how to go in war combat because you've never done it. So you wouldn't understand why women be offended by certain things because you've never been a woman and had those things said to you, right?
Yeah,
you only looking from the
cool
outside. You only looking from the outside in as to what the expectations based off a man's perspective of what a woman should be. But once you're actually a woman and those expectations are put onto you, and then someone feels the need to throw that back in your face in a situation that has nothing to do with the kitchen, right? Then you're not going to understand how she feels. Then you're not going to understand how personal it is. That's all. It's the same difference. Your analogy you just gave about that, it directly correlates to why you won't understand.
But you want to know something that's beautiful? A part of winning the game actually starts in the kitchen. Nutrition is everything.
Okay.
That is true, though.
But y'all know that apply to men and women, right?
Right.
A lot of men that don't have women. So how would you get your nutrition?
I'm definitely
from you being in the kitchen, right? From you learning how to feed yourself. So that has nothing to do with us. That have more to do with you, especially on the athletic. You know, the higher you get, you grown. You learn how to cook yourself. You learn how to feed yourself. So that's a human necessity. Not something that only women need to do, right?
And then here comes the disconnect between men and women, because now when you get into all these other conversations, you start
because like we talk, like speaking it from a sports perspective. Now we going about how women feel. Whereas with men, we would talk about sports, we just keep it there. But now we talking about how women feel about certain things that were said within the conversation that they felt like it's attacking their capability of.
I disagree. Only because if whatever triggers you was said, even if it's friendly or not, friendly fire, I'm pretty sure Courtney right now could say something out of pocket to you, and he might have thought it was a friendly fire, but you took it offensively. There could be jokies all day, but the one thing that you might take offensive, he might say, and now it's not a joke anymore. And that's pretty much where it's at. He could have said almost anything else, bitches and hoes and blah, 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 all the things that you said that he talks about. But the one thing he said was the one thing he knew would be the lowest blow that he could do outside of talking about her kids. And that's where we're trying to help correlate of why she's offended, is because for you, whatever that one thing is that someone can say to you outside of your family or kids was said.
So doesn't that go back to Macaroni's point though, where it's like, okay, at day's end, just stay out of the conversation to begin with, and we don't have to worry about all that?
No, that's not what I was saying, bro. What I'm saying is
you trying to take his words and swap.
What I'm saying is,
I ain't really trying to take it and swap it, but I'm just saying,
Tony.
If you was talking about the emotions and y'all gonna get emotional, then just stay out of the
you're supposed to go along with that, bro.
So the whole thing about it is, I get what you're saying, Ash. I get what you're saying, Ash. But what I'm saying, that the environment, right? You're talking about if me and Courtney just on here talking, and I may say something that offended him. We're talking about when we were talking about sports. Men level of feeling offended is real low. Like it's not. We can talk shit all day, and we probably even get stronger after the situation because we was able to just talk all that shit. And I said, then that's what I'm saying. It's a difference between men and women when we have these conversations in these environments. That's what I'm saying. Now, yeah, outside of sports. Like I said, the analogy I said, outside of sports, if I'm in the street and somebody call me a bitch ass dick, it's gonna be an issue. But if we talking about sports, I'm like, bitch, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. When the last time you played shit? And I'm like, bitch, fuck you. What? How many points you scored when you was playing? Oh, you was on a bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll go back and forth, and it won't get to a situation where it's at right now with her, because now it always go back to the feelings. When like a lot of women are in male dominated spaces.
But then it's still also men don't go like a personal low blow, like something that's physically wrong with you. Like, and I think that's the way y'all take it. I think that'd be something that'd be offensive to us. And now it's, oh, bro, now you stepping over the line. But motherfuckers just say general shit, and it's not like some specific. It ain't like, it ain't not like, yo, man, hey, I fucked your ex-girlfriend. She told me you got a little different shit. Like, I mean, no crazy shit like that.
It ain't like that.
Yeah,
and then,
it ain't that person.
And then in the men, that kitchen statement, she would have got way more. Let me be careful. I think she have got a lot of kudos if she would have fired back with even stronger shit. She dug up some shit like what's the show he was on? What's the name?
The U
or something like that.
Yeah.
She could have took something from that and fired back at him. You know what I'm saying? She would have got way more kudos, and then it would have been like, okay, she the real deal. She actually do understand it. But now what's going on? A lot of dudes like, see, when you got women in there, they're gonna go back to how they feel and this, that, and the third. When you hear the video, she gonna go through all her accolades to prove to us how she is able to have the conversation.
And don't forget, she gonna add in that she a black woman.
And she gonna add in she a black woman, you know, this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, so the fuck what, bro? If you are we gonna go back and forth on this shit or not? Why we gotta sit here and talk about how you feel about stuff?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know why things always do that. That's so weird. I don't know why I keep doing that. It's so stupid. Any final thoughts?
Final thought. F your feelings. At the same time, he did do a low blow, but I think, like I said, if she would have came back stronger with a better response, I think it would have been dope.
That's fair.
Shit, if you got your credentials, let your credentials speak for themselves. You ain't always got to fucking freestyle your whole Elder Scroll of whatever the hell you got under your belt. Like, if it speak, let it speak. And
I got 15 degrees. I got 17 certifications.
Like, all that shit don't matter. If you gonna jump in the ring and be a gladiator, be prepared to fight. Ain't no timeouts in the ring. So,
right.
You know, I'm with Mac. Fuck your feelings.
Damn. Well, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure y'all hit that bell notification. So let's get to this main topic of tonight.